Put down that stone. Have you heard the joke before? In today's gospel, we have all sorts of Pharisees and scribes, the religious leaders of Jesus' day, who were ready to stone a woman caught in adultery. And according to the joke, Jesus, of course, says, "Let the one who is without sin be the first to cast the stone." At which Jesus' mother Mary bent down and picked up a stone. And no. But Mary in 1854 was declared sinless by the Roman Catholic Church and the infallible doctrine of Immaculate Conception. Let the one who's without sin cast the first stone. Isn't it true, brothers and sisters, that we sometimes find ourselves, we find ourselves in a world with all sorts of people who are hurling stones at one another, through their words, through their actions, trying to hurt those around us. We find ourselves looking at a world where there is a war in the Ukraine, trying to stone an entire people. Craziness. Closer to home this week, we found someone with a grudge declaring war on our parish community and removing Father Roy's books from Amazon. Imagine the hatred in people's hearts to declare a war on an entire people or on a church. Put down the stone is Jesus' message in today's gospel. Which is why I love that song that we began this Mass with. How can your pardon reach and bless the unforgiving heart that broods on wrongs and will not let old bitterness depart? Lord, cleanse the depths within our souls and bid resentment cease. Then bound by love to all, our lives will spread your peace. It is so tempting to hold on to stones, amen? And to think of ways in which we can hurt others through our words or our actions. Today's scriptures challenge us to put down the stones. In today's first reading, Deutero-Isaiah says, "Look, God is doing something new. The same God who led us out of slavery in Egypt, who acted in our history, is doing something new." We're challenged to look into our own lives and say, how is it God is doing something new in your life, in my life, in our life? God showed God's self in the Exodus to be a God of surprises. And when we celebrate in 2 weeks, when we celebrate Easter, that this God of surprises even raised Jesus from the dead, giving us hope that we too will rise from the dead. Indeed, as the psalmist says in today's responsorial psalm, the Lord has done great things for us. We are filled with joy. The Lord has done great things for us, amen? Do you remember last Sunday's gospel? How it was that the child who had turned his back on his parents, on his family, when he turned around again, his parents welcomed him home. That's how God is. Amen? The Lord has done great things for us. We are filled with joy. Do you remember the gospel 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago we had the story of the gardener who, even though the tree wasn't producing fruit, rather than cut it down, the gardener said, let's give it another chance to bear fruit. That's how God is. The Lord has done great things for us. We are filled with joy. Amen? In today's second reading, Paul tells the Philippians what his goal and his prize is in life. What was Paul's goal? He tells us in today's second reading. It was to be more and more conformed to Christ. In plain English, it was to be more like Jesus. Do you share a similar goal of being more like Jesus? How cool is that? I'm going to be more like Jesus this week. Are you able to say that with me? I'm going to be more like Jesus this week.
I'm going to be more like Jesus this week.
I'm going to be more like Jesus this week. And I'm going to ask myself, what would Jesus do with this person in my life? How would Jesus respond to this person? Would Jesus do or say what I'm tempted to do or say right now? WWJD, what would Jesus do or say? Because that's conforming ourselves to Christ, as Paul says in today's second reading. Follow me? That's being more and more like Christ. It's putting down the stone. As human beings, we're always tempted, right? Someone hurts us, what's our first reaction? I'm going to give it to him. Brothers and sisters, 2 more weeks are left till Easter. And today as a church, we celebrate the sacrament of reconciliation. A chance for us to turn toward God, but also toward all those sometimes difficult people in this world, those sometimes warring people in this world. And it's a chance for us to put down the stone. This week, as we continue to prepare for Easter with 2 more weeks till Easter, let's reflect on how it is that we're conforming our lives to Christ, how it is that we are doing what Jesus would do.